We hope you're listening, Chris. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than what we're normally doing. Today, over the week, we as a group, as a collective, have sat down and talked a little bit about where we want to go with this podcast. And today, we're going to talk about that and why we do what we do, where we came from, what got us started on cosplaying, where we want to go, and what we want this podcast to overall do for each of you watching. My name is Sleepy Sarah. I'm also known as Sleepy Shadow Cosplays. You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at the same handle. Today I'm here
My name is Taylor Cosplays. People know me as Taylor Cosplays on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And also on Lemonade if you want to check out some of the photos I do before basically filming.
All right, and I am John. You can find me on TikTok at John Hudson Cosplay or here on my YouTube on Captain Hudson.
You can find the Cosplay Confederation on Instagram at the Cosplay Confederation. You can find us on Spotify. I believe it's the Cosplay Confederation as well. And you can find us here on Captain Hudson's page.
I had to think about that one.
I feel you too. That's why I was like, we're unfortunate to say two of our members that you've seen one of have been working behind the scenes to help us. Creepy Collar and Chris, also known as Flash, have decided they needed to step down from the podcast. And we wish them a farewell and hope they're listening, because they have truly helped us create the podcast to what it is. Without them, we wouldn't have a logo, and we wouldn't have a format, and we wouldn't have such an awesome intro and outro. We hope you guys have a good life, and if you ever want to come back, there will always be a spot at the Cosplay Confederation for you. As a confederation, we are here together. All right. With that being said, I don't want to do all of the talking today, so I'm going to make some of these two heads talk a little bit. But as a collective, I keep saying collective, the Cosplay Confederation, our overall goal, my brain's not here. The overall goal is to have a platform where we can help cosplayers of all different, what's the word I'm looking for? Experiences. Baby cosplayers, experienced cosplayers. We want to use our platform to reach out to you guys, give you guys a platform to talk about experiences, give you guys a platform to understand. We're here for you, and overall, we want, correct me if I'm wrong, we want this platform to be something we can use to reach out to everyone. We want to create awareness on things that need awareness, things that need talked about, things that should be put in the light, things that shouldn't be in the light, and all of the above. That's what the Cosplay Confederation is about. Yeah.
I'd say that's a pretty good mission statement.
Yeah. Overall, the Cosplay Confederation was how it got started, for those of you who are new, or for this is your first episode you're joining in. Actually, I think the three of us and Chris were the ones that kind of started it all, is Chris and John were talking about their other podcast, Two Captains One Pod, and Taylor made a comment of, you know what would be really cool? A cosplay podcast. And I looked at him and went, yeah, absolutely. We could do this and that. And I was talking about how we could talk about stuff that needs to be brought to light and stuff like that. And then John was like, I can record. Chris was like, I can help with the intro and outro. We'll get this stuff figured out. And then a week later, and Flicka, you all remember Flicka. If you haven't met Flicka yet, you can go back and watch other episodes. She's been in every episode thus far. But Flicka, she was like, hey, I could be the comic relief. And I took over managing. I am simultaneously, I can't say I'm the only one, but I'm one of the 3 media managers, along with the coordinator. Anytime you see a guest on stream, I'm the one that screens them and make sure they're good. Anyone who wishes to join an episode, you're more than welcome to reach out onto us at Instagram. Excuse me. I thought I burped. You're more than able to reach us on Instagram at _cosplay_confederation. You'll more than likely talk to me or Flicka. John is the one that gets our behind the scenes, takes our all of our stuff up onto Spotify, and he's the one that runs the lives. Taylor's the one that helps organize, along with what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is really not here today. I'm so sorry.
I don't know, man. I just work here.
He's the one that helps us all keep our heads on track, because we all do a little bit of everything. Flicka helps run the Instagram page more than anything. Here soon we will be able to talk about a partnership we have. We are not going to talk about it quite yet, just because we have some documents to sign before we can do anything. Just so look forward to that in the future. We don't know when in the future, but we know it is in the future. And I'm really excited to talk about it. But for the moment, we're not going to talk about it, just because we want to solidify everything fully first. John, why don't you talk to us about what got you first into cosplay?
Oh boy. It's been so long. I guess it started with Halloween costumes back in the day, especially back in high school. Like I had Halloween costumes every year, and every year, like my parents just had a little, like, not criticizing by any means, but my parents just had less and less money for that kind of thing. When I was that age, so I had to start getting creative and start making my own costumes. And I think it was like my junior year of high school, and where I made a Nightwing costume. I designed the emblem on graph paper. I'd been drawing it for like weeks, but then I finally cut it out of cardstock, traced it in fabric, and ironed it onto a shirt, paired it up with black tactical pants, cut out dowels to make his Eskrima sticks, and had my grandma sew on the emblem that I had created. And then I painted the mask and everything, got some spirit gum, glued it to my, put some makeup on over my eyes, glued it to my face. That's kind of where my cosplay journey started. Most of my cosplays since then I have bought. I haven't actually made a costume in a long time, except for my ODST one that I made for Comic-Con last year. That was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. But still worth it.
Personally, it's been so long. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been ages, just because of how much growth you have as a person and as a cosplayer. My first cosplay, and I had learned about it back in middle school, and it always sounded really cool. I always loved dressing up for Halloween. And then in high school, I think it was high school, it was the year right before high school, I really got into it and started researching what cosplay was. And I started on TikTok back when it was called Musical.ly. That tells you how long I've been on that. Yeah, that's it's been a while. And I started filming some. Yeah, it's been a long time. I started filming some content with just some regular makeup on, and one of my friends I found out she had cosplayed, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, how to get into this, blah, blah, blah. And she gave me a wig. And went, hey, here's an old wig I don't use. It's not in the best quality, but you really don't want one that's in the best quality, especially for your first wig, because you're gonna destroy it. And then, from there, I cosplayed Tiki Toby with my actual hair. My friend had painted on his little teeth on the one side. I had just some steampunk goggles on, and it was not necessarily good. But looking back from where I've come as a cosplayer to even this, if I tried to do something like this back then, I would not have gotten anywhere near. Which, for those of you who don't know, I pulled this together within 20 minutes before the podcast started.
Something like that.
I had no idea what to do. I wasn't even going to cosplay originally, and then I found my Renver dress again because I washed it. I said, you know what? I have a crown. I'll put the crown on. Wasn't planning on doing makeup, and here I am. But cosplay back in high school, I think the first time I did like I really cosplayed was back in high school. I cosplayed Mikasa from Attack on Titan. And I completely bought her outfit. I still have bits and pieces of it, but over time I've lost it or it stopped fitting, so I got rid of it. And it was it was like a Spirit Halloween wig quality. And from there I cosplayed Aizawa, and actually here, if I can remember to do it, my goal is to post on our Instagram a side-by-side from 2016, I think it was. My 2016 Aizawa to my current day Aizawa. So you can just see how much patience, practice, and time really does work.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing cosplay is it's an art form. But those of you who want to tell you it's not, they don't get it. To them, it may not be an art form. It just may be something that they like to do. But cosplay is very much art. To learn to do the makeup, to sew, to even learn to measure yourself. You don't really think about some of the things that go into cosplay. Like, to get a suit, you have to sit here, you have to measure your shoulders, your hips, your waist, your bust, your legs, your height. There's so much measurements that go into it.
This is a prime example. Probably should have measured myself a little bit better. Like I said before we started, it's a little bit tighter than what I would normally like, but it still fits. But like I kind of just like loosely just, yeah, all right, that's good. But probably should have like actually done it a little better.
I'm so scatterbrained today. I've been thinking about this episode for a week, and I still can't even get my brain to wrap around it. This episode really made me sit down and think a lot. Personally, cosplay has been such a big part of my life for so long. I mean, it's 2025, and I've been cosplaying since I don't even know, 2015, 2016? So I don't know about you. How long have you been cosplaying?
Yeah, probably about the same time, because 2015, 2016, that would have been my junior year of high school, which is when I built that Nightwing costume for Halloween. And my costumes just kept on getting more and more intricate from that point until I found Musically, and then lo and behold, here I am.
People don't. That's another thing I wanted to talk. Actually, with Taylor being here, Taylor, what got you into cosplaying? What was your cosplay story?
Sorry, my sister and my mom were here, so I had to help them for a little bit. Yeah. So honestly, it was on my For You page. I will say that. In growing up, I did martial arts, so acting was not in a bit. Athletics was a thing in my life, and being a triplet, which I am, all three of us, me, my brother, and sister, all three of us did martial arts. That was that in online school. That was our life. So we never really got to be like in public discovering stuff until we were in high school, public high school. And my dad neglected on wanting to do it, but we then asked, and he found a good school, which South Salem High School, go Saxons. That's when we kind of wanted to do what we wanted to do. I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I did some culinary classes. I mostly did choir and softball. That was my gig. But I did one play in high school my junior year, and that was A Christmas Carol, and I played Fred Scrooge's nephew. I still have the tie for that, surprisingly. But I just loved theater ever since, and choir kind of helped me with that a little bit. My senior year, it was unfortunately came to a halt because of the pandemic, and that's when I started getting on TikTok, was November of 2019. I didn't really know cosplaying as much, and then it came up on my For You page. Nick Ray, Jennings Brower, all those people who are still on the app were cosplaying. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Why don't I just randomly make an OC, see what happens? And so I made my first 3 OCs: Psycho Maddie, Chris Morningstar, and Henry Blackwood. Those were my first 3. Psycho Maddie I retired after in 2020 because when it came out as trans, I don't really do female characters, so I decided to retire that one and keep Chris and Henry, who are still on my page. But over the time, I started. It was all closet cosplay. I used a choir jacket that I normally wear for performances as my cosplay jacket. And some of the stuff I got off Temu or at Goodwill. And I didn't even do... my fangs were McDonald's straws shoved up on my canines.
I love that.
And it surprisingly worked. It was difficult, but it worked. And then when I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to get more advanced in this. My parents were like, what the hell? Especially my dad. I come down to makeup and he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm cosplaying. He's like, what the? Pardon my French, but what the fuck is that? And then I made another OC. I wanted to have a good guy. So I named Arthur. And I had this like X pattern on my neck for a pattern with I called it my Oregon Ducks flannel, but it was a green and yellow flannel. But then my mom was like, I don't like the neck piece. Have your sister do it. So my sister was like, do anything. And so she made this tree-like one, and I loved it. So I decided to keep it, and I asked my sister how she did it. That way I could be able to replicate it. And so I had it for a while. But then over the past months into 6, from I think it was like June or July of 2020, I hit 10K. Just for filming those cosplays and getting Jekyll and Hyde, and then Harvey Dent. Hold on, just one moment. Pause. My Panera is here.
You're fine. We'll get back to that conversation in a second when he gets back.
They just brought it to me. Okay. So back to that. I even had my sister who does actual professional photography, and if it's okay, I would like to plug them real quick.
Oh, absolutely.
So my sister Lexi does photography, professional photography here in Oregon, but if any of you guys are in the Oregonian area or West Coast or want to get photos by my sister, she also does a few weddings and does videography for a different company for events. If you want to go to Lexi's Photography on Instagram, I will put it down. I will send them to Shadow and John. You can check out their photos. They actually did my cosplay photos a while back and took my actor headshots, which actually came out really well. So I would suggest going to that Instagram if you want to book appointments and want to get some professional photos done. I don't know what she charges. I paid her like $35 as a family fee and also for gas. But
really quickly,
no. Yeah.
If I may. This is not sponsored by TikTok or by the photographer in any way, shape, or form. This is just us talking about our experiences or giving shout outs to people we would like to give them to. It's not in any way sponsored by any shape or form. We do not have any sponsorships or active partnerships at the current second. We
However,
are completely well, I can't say that actually. We are currently in the works of one partnership, but we had made an executive decision not to name them as a partner yet, just until we have everything legally done. Yeah, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
sorry for interrupting.
If you want to check out my sister's work, go to Lexi's Photography on Instagram. But back to the cosplaying, like and then getting into freshman, it excelled more and more. And like 2020, 2021 had been my big spark in cosplaying. I gained more and more, and I even got contacts for the first time, which me wearing glasses, I never wore prescription contacts, let alone color contacts. So I had to ask a bunch of people advice of how to do it, and then also getting prosthetic fangs, then learning how to do liquid latex. My God, liquid latex was difficult because I looked on TikTok how to apply everything. The first time I actually did a major prosthetic job was a Two-Face, and I still do Two-Face a couple of times with prosthetics, otherwise let alone face paint depending on the day. It's just toilet paper and liquid latex from what I looked up, and it worked. And with a lot of others, it's like it sort of just depends. But then as I excelled with creating more and more, I ended up getting, quote, I call retiring, or I don't cosplay them anymore, retiring a lot more cosplays that I couldn't really find audios for, didn't really have a story. And they're usually the ones that I've had my own rendition on, like Mr. Goldslash, Rumpelstiltskin, Once Upon a Time, or Hades. I made a combo between Descendants and Hercules. Or I made a character for a game that was on TikTok called NPC Risk back in 2021, 2022. Basically the big game of Risk for a general-wide program, which it all worked on Eastern Standard Time, and I'm in Oregon, which is Pacific Standard. So waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning just to film and play the battles.
That definitely do it.
Yeah, and even cosplaying is where I met my girlfriend, where actually my ex-girlfriend. We ended up dating for almost 3 years, and then she broke up with me. But she still kept cosplaying. She always asked me what to do, and I've always helped her out. And she's like, I can never be like you. And I'm like, girl, you are good. Look how many people like it. Hello. Like I've even like, I can't explain why, but it gives me an escape from reality. Like even my mom wanted me to do certain cosplays. I very much, I do this every couple of times. It's like, okay, you know what? Go into the comments and suggest a character from a movie animation you want me to do. I ended up getting Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda once. And that actually turned out really good, though. And then someone suggested Lenny from Shark Tale.
Ooh. Also, is that how you ended up with Gino?
Huh?
Is that how you ended up with Gino, the cosplay? From K-pop?
I did. Yeah, I did Gino only for 2 videos because I was like, why not? It's going big right now.
Oh.
But no, Lenny from... I don't know. It wasn't a suggestion. I actually wanted to. So, but no, my mom gave me a steampunk mask for Christmas one year and asked for me to do a steampunk cosplay. She really wanted me to do one. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. She had a shirt she got rid of. And so I tailored it to my size, got black pants, had a red vest already. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. What's a good New York steampunk name that could work? And so Titus was one of them. It kind of I kind of made him by having the ingenuity of Carl from Van Helsing, Rodney Copperbottom from Robots, kind of like the every engineering like weaponry person and a mechanic, but he's scared of being seen for his disformity like Quasimodo from Hunchback of Notre Dame and being taunted down by the public because of his deformity. And so I decided to make a kind of like a bruising look underneath for him as like a birthmark. But no, it was an interesting cosplay for me to do, and my mom absolutely loves it. And I love doing it every time I cosplay to it, so it's kind of fun. And I've created more and more and more, like either versions or OCs, but I will say everyone's asked me, what's your favorite cosplay you like doing? I say 2 of them. Jekyll and Hyde, because it's my favorite musical. Hands down, I don't care. If people say, oh, it could be The Notebook, book. Oh, Death Becomes Her. Jekyll and Hyde has a deeper meaning than what people think. And then my OC Chris Morningstar, because I made it for the TV show Lucifer before season 4.
Chris Morningstar.
Before seasons 5 and 6 even came out. Say again?
Sorry. I said he is one of my favorite characters. When he pops up on my feed, I'm like, yes, give me the serotonin. I'm not gonna lie, I a little sometimes to get some Chris content.
I will say this though. Chris has evolved so much because I went from all black. I went from, if anyone who goes on my TikTok page to that specific one, they're not ordered correctly, but they look to where it's like, oh, he's in all black. It was the daughter of Chris of Lucifer, because I before I came out trans in 2020, and when I came out before teen, everything like that, and it was just like, okay, we're switching it to the trans son. But over time, he went from all black to a 3-piece suit with just a red tie, which actually became well. I ended up collabing a lot of my videos with a cosplayer called Low Lockdown, which I haven't seen her post a lot lately, but we ended up becoming pretty good mutuals and combining a lot of our stories together. And it was really fun to have. Her as a mutual. She was one of my good mutuals. I actually helped her get out of her shell and go on lives more and stuff like that. But we talked on the phone once, but we never were able to meet up. So it was one of those things. And what the heck was that?
Bat duck?
Okay, so you guys know how we were all trying to come up with a symbol to say we wanted to talk. I have mine now. This is my first 3D print. Sorry, sidetrack really fast, but this also goes into what my cosplay. My first 3D print I ever did. It's a bat duck.
Okay, low key, I thought that was Fern Goalie. That's hilarious. That's actually cute. But
it's the first filament I've ever bought, so I'm like.
Yeah. But over time, I will say. But over time, ever since like 2020, so like almost 5 years, a little over 5 years, and also personal stuff like school, me coming out as trans, starting T, top surgery, life. I've always been like, I never even been to con. Like I've went to like a paint showing in a cosplay, and I've also like I worked at a con as well, but I just never personally been to one. And and as someone who lives low income, who goes by paycheck to paycheck every day to try to survive in this economy that we're living right now, I hate getting political. Orange man.
Let's avoid politics.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that's why I've even had like people I don't even like politics, so I do apologize for that. But either way, it's like I do cosplay to escape. My dad still doesn't get why I cosplay. I get it. He's old. I get that. I love my dad. My mom, she understands. She helped me. She even helped buy a lot of the stuff from Mammon that I'm going to be wearing soon. As a saying thank you for helping me for the past year and a half, taking care of me. So for me, cosplaying is like I want to get out and just be myself and be something other than me right now. And so what I try to do is I try to find audios for me to save now. That way, during the time, I can film a big haul of film of, okay, let's do this for character, this for character, post it throughout like a school term, 3 months. That way I don't have to get back into cosplay till later on near like a break, like spring break. But during the fall season, I am a scare actor with Scaregrounds PDX. So I'm basically in costume every weekend. And I've had 1 or 2 people recognize me from my page because I would post scare acting content. And I don't know, that's the one thing I get recognized a lot more with. But for me, a lot of times I've tried to connect with other cosplayers or even actors. And as someone who's a theater student, it kind of helps too. I did a acting for camera class with an actor named Ted Rooney, who's been in a couple of different films so far, but does mostly stage play. And so I've really excelled my acting onto TikTok from my classes to try to envelop more. And
John,
editing skills.
what does cosplay mean to you?
I mean, 100% with Taylor, it's an escape. Like, it's an escape from reality. It allows me to be something better than myself for a little while.
That's completely agreed. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah. There's a lot, like, even it's like, I don't know, I just can't explain. It's like, you picture yourself, you have this other little person, this voice in your head that you make into a person. You see him right in front of you. You want to put that on camera and see what happens.
For
and
me,
some people, oh, sorry. And some people are like, I can relate to that.
For me, cosplay has been a big part of my life. We've talked about it before during our mental health episode, that pretty much everyone here has some sort of mental health awareness, from both physical personal experiences to professional experiences. But cosplay for me has been a big part of my life, especially during roughly 2016 to 2018. A lot happened. I've talked about it in past episodes. And I leaned on cosplay heavily. It was definitely an escape from the reality of what was going on. It was an escape for me to be able to go be someone else. And to this day, I find that when I'm in cosplay, I can be a lot. For those of you who don't, let me phrase it this way. For those of you who don't know, I'm an omnivore. I also have social anxiety to an extent. At conventions, when I'm in cosplay, it's a lot easier for me to go up to people, because if you make a fool out of yourself, who's gonna recognize you? Besides yourself and your loved ones and best friends, who are the only people that are gonna pick on you. Like, if I made a fool of myself in front of these two, they'd probably make jokes about it with me for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a very accurate statement, I feel like.
Not moderately, absolutely accurate.
Or if they made a fool of themselves, I would do the same. Nice. Now, don't bully people, but picking on your friends for making a fool of themselves it's a friend thing, especially with cosplayers. Like, I used to have a friend I would send bloopers to, and we'd laugh at them together. Like, I have one, I think I've shown Taylor, of, I was flicking one of my swords out. It was one of my 3D printed swords. I was flicking it out, and because I was so excited to film with it, and you see me go, because
I remember that.
I flicked it, and it hit something, and then the top half just went flying off in a different direction, and I'm going, and I look at the camera, did you just see that?
I remember that, but I remember a lot of my bloopers ended up making the final cut and working. I remember there was I know! Surprisingly, a mistake is a good thing. when filming cosplay. It's like, I was filming a Henry Blackwood video to where I miss an arrow being shot. Yeah, I miss an arrow being shot, and then I faked having an arrow go to me. I leaned forward, I tried to catch myself, and went face first in my ex's chest of drawers. and it hurt. And that was the first take, but it worked. And you could just see the ending of the scene, just the camera just starts rattling a little bit. That's me with my face towards the chest of drawers.
One of my favorite ones I have on that made the final cut on mine was, I love my boyfriend, he's amazing. But when we go to conventions, sometimes he's my human tripod because I'm like, hey, I want this really cool angle and I can't get it. Can you hold my phone for me? And he'll do it. Well, I explained to him, like, okay, so there's this one audio that goes, go figure, I wound up to be the grave digger. And as I said, I wound up to be the grave. And I went like this, and it was supposed to drop down to make it look like I dropped them in the grave. And this man fell. So he went down, and it just went sideways. And this man was like keeping me in frame the whole time. So you see me going from a whole serious moment to like I like smirking and smiling, trying not to laugh as I watched this man fall and keep me in camera. He went for the bit and landed it. But with that being said, it's stuff like that that makes cosplay why we do it. Cosplay for all of us, besides my ankle, besides being an escape from reality, it is a way for us to connect. I mean, shit, none of the three of us, not even Flecka or Chris, none of us are in the same time zones. Not a single one of us.
No.
You don't understand how hard coordinating episodes can be sometimes, because we have to translate it. Like someone will be like 9 p.m. EST, and they'll be like, hold on.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like when I did NPC Risk, we were all on Eastern Standard Time. So I'm just like, am I the only West Coast person? Dang.
But cosplay connects people in ways you don't, excuse me, in ways you don't think of. Because it connected someone from Ohio to people to New York to, Oregon to, Sean, where do you live?
Colorado.
We would have never met in person if it wasn't for us meeting on TikTok, us being on live. My hair keeps going in my mouth. Us being on live. That's why you just see me keep on. It's because I'm like eating my hair with the eyeshadow lipstick combo, and it is not very tasty. But
I blame Chris, mostly because he's not here to defend himself. He's gonna watch this. He's gonna be like, "Fuck you." I'll be like, I blame Chris. It's his fault.
He's attacking from the void.
he's menacingly like eye twitching in the void. Like, what are you doing?
Like he's gonna be. Like, I almost say that, and I'm almost like he's standing right behind me. Isn't he?
He's like, he's in my walls.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls.
Cosplay with ADHD definition right here. The three of us.
Yeah.
But cosplay, it connects people in ways you don't think of. While some find it weird. I can't stop laughing.
Just seeing you every time go like a cat, I can't. Okay. Oh god.
Oh, it's gonna be a big up blooper. I feel it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Lizard.
Lizard.
Can we make that a button on the board?
I'll figure out a way to make that a button.
Lizard. Anytime we have a screw up or start laughing, lizard.
It's like
I will hit that.
It's like even like I love it. I love how it's like I've never made my own friends before until TikTok, and all of a sudden it's like I have a plethora of friend groups. I'm in tons of Discords, like communicating with people, and I'm a bad person at communication personally.
I mean,
and
same.
that's been my family. It's like if it's you, keep it to yourself. And it's hard for me to kind of talk to people, and I try not to put my problems on others because it makes me feel like I'm ranting. But otherwise, they're all like friends and mutuals of mine who I can share stuff with, and they're not going to give it, and they're not going to like ridicule me or anything like that. So I'm very happy. I'm glad, and plus also the fact that they like to also see my animals walk. Anytime my animals walk across, they're just like, "Ooh, who's that? I now want to come over just to see them. I blame this goddamn one."
You're calling me out right now. Jeez.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And this one
Every
has been in too many.
I was laughing because I
This one has
looked over
been
and
in
I
my
saw the tongue
videos.
again.
People have
Every
liked more
time he-
videos with my cat.
Every
They
time he
only go
brings
there
his
for the
cat, every time he brings his cat out, I'm like, I want to go to your house and pet your cat. Like in the most gremlin voice I can. I'm like, I want to pet the cat.
I want to pet the cat.
But it's also the fact that I get more videos with my cat in my videos than just
Maybe
me.
it'll
I'm
bring-
just like, why are you
Sorry.
stealing my followers, huh?
He's just like, look at me. Do you see all this?
I want to scrub if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, you're there.
But cosplay brings people together in so many ways, between animals, between sharing cosplays, between ending up starting a podcast together. It's we didn't think this was going to happen. We've known each other for almost 6 months, 7 months.
I've known Chris for like 2 years.
Yeah, I was about to say I've known Chris for a while.
Yeah, I've known you.
I've known of Taylor.
Yeah, I know
through
you,
Chris.
but yeah, I've known of John through Chris.
Yeah.
and then I started meeting you, Shadow, for like 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah. But I only know that because I based off what?
My addition
Brain
for,
stroke.
that's my addition for the next
all
Patrick
this
voice actor. Nickelodeon, keep me in mind.
I've known Tara for I think 3 months longer than when I met Taylor, because I met Taylor through Tara.
I thought
Did I
it was
meet you?
Levi.
No, yeah, no, I met Rose. I met Jinx through Tara, then met Rose through Jinx, and then met Levi through Rose, and then met you through Levi.
Yeah, I met everyone through Jax.
But
I met everyone through him.
I would have never met either of these wonderful men. Almost said the wrong gender. I would have met either of these wonderful men
I've been called
if it hadn't been me.
Just stopped her in her tracks.
I just see her face being like.
I'm trying not to laugh from my giggle mode, so you get me laughing. I'm not gonna stop.
Okay. Anyway, like this podcast would not be possible for any of us just like literally getting together, dressing up, being stupid, and having a great time. Like that's basically it. Like it has been this entire thing is a whirlwind of mixed emotions and stupid shit. Like and all around like a comedy show. I will say that. It's every time we pop online, what chaos is going to erupt today? What's the tea? Like, what is going on with everyone in realm of this of this entire thing with the world? And it's that cosplaying. I've met people at cons who are full furries, and I've asked, okay, yeah, furries count as cosplayers? Like, they make their suits, and I got asked would I get feet made for my Husker cosplay, I said, can I work indoor and outdoor? Because I will wear them all the time. And one of them offered, they never were able to make them yet because of everything. But I had a friend of mine who made my Husker ears, which is getting sent actually here. But overall, like this entire thing is just us having a good time and people listening and if I'm a viewer and I'm listening to something, I would feel like honestly, if I were listening to the viewers right now, they're like, that's me. I can feel that for them. I can have the same experience. So they had something in common with us that they can reflect on through our experiences as lessons or as kind of like tips and tools for the future. Like everything is a mixed experiment of good and bad, and we just have to basically, even if we fail, even if we dig into a giant hole and we fall in, we are able to get ourselves back out little by little, either in cosplay or out of cosplay.
Cosplay is such a big thing, and it's not even really that old.
No, it's like, oh my gosh. I think people started cosplaying like when they were like even back in the 90s when like Star Wars came out in theaters. A lot of people were making their own versions of Anakin and Darth Vader. Like they're very rare icons to have.
I was about to say, even before that, Star Trek, when it had its conventions in the early 70s, before it became a big thing, I'd say it became more accepted, more popular right around 2016, 2017. But it's always been around.
It's just it's becoming more popular as the time goes on because people need escapes from what's going on in the world. And that's completely okay. It is okay to dress up like a fairy and put on fake ears and a crown that itches the hell out of your skull, or put on a suit and act like Superman, or put on a kimono and I will get to that in a second. Putting on a kimono respectfully and dressing up as a character from an anime show. Kimonos, if you're gonna wear them, little PSA, and then we'll get back onto topic. If you're gonna wear a kimono, do your research, because it is. I'm trying to think of the word. My brain's not braining today. It is part of a culture.
So if you want to wear kimono,
if you want to wear kimonos, make sure you learn how to do it properly, do it respectfully, even if it's a cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Do it respectfully. Like, one of the most controversial cosplays in a kimono I have seen out there is Nezuko from Demon Slayer, because she has the two different forms, and the one is her chest is very revealing because it's the anime. It's been kind of from what I'd seen, for some people it was a very controversial thing because of how the kimono got worn. Because kimonos are meant to be modest, they're meant to cover up. I'm not saying by any means I'm an expert. This is just the knowledge I learned when I did the research, because I planned on cosplaying Nezuko. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. But remember boundaries and respect in any cosplay you do, in any way you do.
Yeah, I remember like people have asked me whenever I say I'm a cosplayer, they immediately think of anime. That's the one thing they think of is anime, and I'm like, growing up, I never did watch anime because my dad raised us to watch historic channels and stuff like that for school, for online school most of the time. And he was a teacher, and God, he would tell stories for hours on end, and it would be 9 o'clock at night, and we haven't done one speckle thing of homework or schoolwork for online because he will be there telling stories for hours, and he still does. But the thing is that, like, oh my God, what was I gonna say? Jesus, I had it on my brain now. It's off the tip of my tongue. But like like growing up, I did I did respond to a culture, and it was a Asian culture because of Taekwondo specifically. I have a South Korean flag, minimalistic South Korean flag on my inner bicep as a way of remembering my childhood in the discipline that I have learned to become a person today and to excel into my life. So I respect the culture, and I respect its lineage throughout the shot. Like anything Asian. Plus, I'm a big Asian food person. Like I've grown up upon. Like I have a gi that I'm gonna wear in respect for that sport for my college graduation because I never publicly wore it since I retired when I was 16. But I respect its culture. I even see on my For You page sparring matches all the time. Hell, I haven't done that in years. But overall, like, there's a lot of different cosplays that have culture. For example, Book of Life.
Yes, that's a good one.
A Book of Life is a big thing on culture. Day of the Dead. Love Day of the Dead.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. But the fact I did Zibalba, but instead of going with the original way it's done, which is a black skull, and as a white man, that is technically blackface. Don't want to go there. I flipped the colors. Everyone has said this is honestly the best rendition. Everyone loved it. Even people, I've gotten comments from people who are from Mexico, who love it. Loved my rendition doing it. And I try to do it every other year in a way that, do I want to go human? Do I want to keep it? And like I love doing it because it's kind of like one of those weird villains that honestly they need to make a musical of it. Because even a lot of times musicals on Broadway, they bring more culture, but they need to bring that. Honestly, I think that would be fun.
I think we've hit most of our main topics, so we can score a little bit. We hit, just to confirm with everyone, to make sure it's brain not brainy. We hit what our goal is as a Cosplay Confederation, what cosplay means to each of us. Did we hit where we were wanting to go with the podcast?
Yeah. We did.
We talked about how we were wanting to have guests on here and there, but overall the podcast is going to mainly consist of the four of us.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like, yeah, honestly, that's where it's kind of going right now. Sorry if you're hearing screaming and stuff like that. That's new neighbors.
All right. So with that, we hit the main topics of today. We still have about an hour
or 10 minutes.
I was about to say, an hour or 10 minutes. We are
probably closer.
We are at 53 minutes right now.
Okay. All right. My braining.
Ooh.
Let's talk about a little things.
Ooh, I got a question that it just struck me brain. What is one location? Like, have you guys ever filmed cosplay in a location? Like, went out into like a forest or the middle of the city just to film a specific cosplay?
I did, but the video got deleted.
No.
Bro. I remember I did Rick O'Connell because I wanted to do that river scene. Where it's like, O'Connell, looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river. Or whatever the hell is. But no, I'm like, you know what?
They're horses.
Guys, please make sure we're not interrupting each other. Please use our signal, or if you have a different signal and you want to use, please use the signal when you guys want to interrupt, but please don't interrupt each other.
Yeah, sorry. We were working on that scene. But no, I was like, you know what? I got a film contest. It was me, my ex, and then two friends of ours. One of them who was a work friend and one of them who was a friend of theirs. We went to this place. Oh my God, what was it? Glen Auto Park in Troutdale in Oregon. we always went over there because it's a nice place to kind of like. It's a nice river right near the Willamette, and it has a bridge over top, a nice ice cream shop up on the upper ridge. But no, I'm like, here, I'm gonna film. I brought my tripod, I brought my phone, I brought headphones, and I just filmed content out there. And I'm like, okay, babe, go on that rock over there. Grab my phone. You're just gonna go 3, 2, 1, and I remembered it. And she shouted his lines. And then I did mine right across. I actually went into the water with my boots, which technically were waterproof at the time, and then all of a sudden it started leaking through the boot. That was not fun a little bit. That was not fun a little bit afterwards. But then I did the rest of the scene. It actually became really nice. I haven't filmed out there in a while, but what I wanted to do was go out in the snow with my Arthur cosplay because I have a I don't know if I could find where they threw it out, but I had a throw blanket that I made into a cape. I want to get a full cloak and go out there and take photos with Arthur in the snow. Because I think it will be really cool. Oh, sorry.
You're fine. What about
What's
you,
up?
John?
I've never filmed in a location before. The locations that I have filmed in have been my bedroom. Or my laundry room. Or my grandma's house. That's it. Or my car.
I do have one. Up on my TikTok, it was my first time cosplaying Bakugo Katsuki, the angry Pomeranian that I love too much, and I love cosplaying him. I actually just sent my wig out to my friend, amazing human being who's going to restyle the wig for me, so there will be a revamped Bakugo here soon. I'm so happy. I've been needing to restyle the wig for years, and it's finally happening, and I'm so excited. But I cosplayed Katsuki Bakugo in my PJs. It was Christmas Day, because I had just gotten my wig for Christmas because my parents helped fund my cosplays for Christmas. So I love them. My parents are lovely humans by doing that. Those actually have most of my outfits. But I was outside because it started snowing, so I was in my house slippers so my feet were in the slippers in the snow, and I had this much snow on top of my actual feet. And I filmed in a fluffy white jacket, a black shirt. I think it was a black shirt, and the wig, and it was really heavy pajama pants. And I just went like full angry mode, and it looked so awesome, but the wig was so bad out of the back.
Yeah, I filmed in the snow last year, earlier this year when we had Oregon had the giant snowstorm in February, or was it January or February region, and I'm like, this gives Dragon Emperor vibes from the Mummy. So I went out in Rick O'Connell in the middle of the snow at midnight filming.
Did you have shoes at least?
Oh, I had my Tims. I just wore my Tims because the cosplay boots I have, they're only for aesthetics and walking around, but not good for weather. So I wore my Tims instead, and my my fluffy jean jacket, which I don't have anymore. But I had that, and I decided to film outside with it. I even made a story being like, "Yeah, I'm doing this for content." Like,
you're smarter than me. There was a video out on my page, and I refused to delete it because of how I realized how stupid I was. Because I was like, I think the character didn't wear shoes or something. And I was like, I'm gonna be character accurate in 10-degree weather. I walked outside into the snow. My feet were freezing. I filmed my content and then ran back onto my porch, which was still ice cold. But it was warmer than the snow. I was barefoot. Then I ran inside and put my feet under a blanket. Didn't get frostbite. Don't do what I do. It was not smart.
yeah, let's make smart decisions. Like,
Don't do what I did.
Even it's like, have you guys ever, like, since I'm a scare actor and our costumes are provided, I wanted to make my own. I literally took I still have it in here as a regular clothes, I have just black jeans and a black unbuttoned-up shirt, long sleeve shirt. I just threw bleach on to make like burn marks or stains. And I even did this with my Two-Face cosplay. I legit took, and my jacket was leather. Do not try this at home unless you are a professional, or if you're trying to be accurate. I took hairspray plus lighter equals flamethrower to the jacket, and I made it look like it went through hell and back.
Another
And
good one. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I did that to my Two-Face cosplay by burning one side of the outfit.
Nice.
So if you go into my newer Two-Face cosplay videos to where I have one sleeve, I legit took a lighter and burned it, including the pants.
Another one I've seen, actually, I'm trying to think how I'm related to them. My godmother's son. Back when I first didn't really know what cosplay was, and he was actually thinking about it. I think he's what like got me to know what cosplay was, but I didn't start cosplaying at the time. He said had this big party he was gonna go to, and so he grabbed his jeans and tied them on the back of his 4-wheeler, he had it tied on a rope, and then drove his 4-wheeler down a bunch of concrete and gravel, and then let the jeans destroy themselves, and it looked so good.
That's also a way to do it.
It's safer
Practical methods.
because where they lived at, it was a gated community in a sense, but it wasn't like a rich gated community. It was like hey, we're a southern gated community, but not southern. We're southern, but we're like by the water southern, if that makes sense.
It's a tiny population over there.
So you would literally see them drive golf carts to the stores. Like you saw golf carts more than you saw cars on their roads. And boats everywhere because they were by a lake. But there's so many different ways to make cosplays and all of that. My phone's gonna die soon. Excuse me. Actually, here's a good one. I just had it repaired. My father just repaired it for me. This right here. This is. All right, you haven't seen it yet because it broke, but I'm going to show you.
Oh, that looks sick.
Let me see if I can get the little spot on camera better. That's actually carved out, and then the little hashtag right here was cut out with a knife and painted and then glued in the hole. There's actually a hole carved it down right here. This little hashtag my boyfriend did. This is what I did. I did all of this, including painting the stick, and then it broke, so my dad took some shrink film to it, so I now just have like a permanent rip on it. But
nice.
This is roughly 16 hours of work. Actually, no, probably even more than that. I think it's closer to 30 because this is it's some weird styrofoam. It's mainly used for flowers, bouquet makers. The really thick stuff, not the green one, but the white one, the white like really dense styrofoam.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm actively putting pressure on it, and it is not.
Dang.
I had to take a knife. I destroyed a pair of scissors to cut these because this is the ball and this is the ball. I cut in half to get that size difference, and then this I cut out, and I cut this out. Like every part of this I cut out. I hand painted it. This was broken. I glued it back together. Then it broke again. So my dad.
Yeah, I still got to make Mammon's staff, and I used the staff I did in martial arts, and I painted it all black. That way I could have 2 staffs if I wanted to.
If you can see, like right here, there's a couple of white spots. I need to go back through and repaint it. Please don't break.
I can't even see it, but
Like it's If you get it close, you can see it, like right here.
Yeah. It's very minuscule, though. Oh, gosh.
Perfectionism. Because, like, when you have this, and you spin it, you can see it, like, right along the edges. But what I was getting at is cosplaying, making props. Making props. It is the new thing I've been working on, is making my own props for competitions. So much work goes into it, and people don't see the behind the scenes, they just see the final product. Cosplay is, there are so many different levels to cosplay too, from closet cosplays to making your own, to customizing, like taking a piece you already have and then customizing it to make it fit you a little bit better, or changing out some of the details because you didn't like it, or completely making your own, like we've talked about tonight.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You're fine. My hair started getting in my mouth again. They are all very valid cosplays, and we will talk again in the future more on closet cosplays. For those of you who weren't able to join on our last episode, we had to do it over on TikTok because we had technical difficulties getting up on YouTube. So eventually it will be posted, but it will be posted after this episode more than likely. Which is completely fine. We'll get it up eventually, and you'll be able to see it eventually. Oh. And for those of you joining us on Spotify, if you would like to physically watch us and see the amazing cosplays we all do during these lives, hop over on Captain Hudson at youtube.com.
You doing all right, Shadow?
No, apparently not. Because apparently Englishing is a struggle today.
I had to talk to people all day, so I get it.
That's fair.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but...
She hit, sorry. Is there anything else you want to talk about today on this episode?
Not that
Or
I
have
can
any
think
other points you guys wanted to hit today?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I can't think of
With that
anything.
being
So
said, we're going to hit a couple more things before we wrap it up. We want to, as always, every episode, for those of you who have been with us, who have joined us for any of our episodes, know we state two main things on our episodes. We are not medical professionals. We are a bunch of cosplayers who are here to listen, here to create content and make people laugh. If you're struggling with mental health in any way, shape, or form, you can always call 988. They are there to listen and help. The other main one we always try to talk about is mental wellness and cosplay. I did it! Haha! The tongue twister didn't get me today. Mental
You almost had it.
I lied. I'm so close. Mental wellness and cosplay is an amazing Ohio-based group who work with conventions, making sure that they have the appropriate stuff to help people with needs, whether it be anxiety, you're on the spectrum, disabled, or anything of the sort. They also do other things, like on TikTok, Instagram, they post daily I think it's daily advocates, or not, I'm not using the right word. They post daily inspirational quotes. That's what I'm trying to hit. My brain is not braining. I am so sorry today. It's a little rough.
okay.
But they do work with conventions to help make sure it is good and ready. They help make sure they have stuff like sensories and needs like that. If you want to learn more about them, you can always go ahead and check. I think it's our second episode where we talked about mental health, where one of our amazing friends, Tara, joined us to talk about it. With that being said, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. The Cosplay Confederation, the only Confederacy accepted by U.S. history.